Hello, and a very warm welcome to a brand new series of Centrum Guardians. This is about the people in our emergency services. Firefighters, paramedics, rescue swimmers, pilots and crew. They seldom catch the limelight, but when the unthinkable happens, when you're trapped in a car after an accident, or being swept out to sea in a rip current, they are the ones who will make the difference between life and death.
It's instinct that just kicks in, it really is.
Jy weet iemand is in die moeilikheid en dit gaan 10 minute vat om daar te kom.
Inside the building, it's dark. Smoke, you cannot see.
You can't just leave the life just because you don't want to get hurt.
You've got literally a few minutes to play with, if even that.
When I stepped in that water, I was scared, but I don't know how to swim. I have to save that person.
Ek dink die satisfaksie wat 'n ou kry uit die werk uit om ander mense te kan help en daar's nie 'n ander werk wat dit regverdig nie.
We are looking for the Centrum Guardian of the Year 2013. There are 8 finalists. Over the next 6 weeks, we will tell you their stories, and I can promise you now, it will take your breath away. But only one of them can be crowned Centrum Guardian of the Year 2013. Half the votes to decide that winner will come from an independent panel. The other half must come from you. Help us recognize the amazing work these guys do by voting for the team or individual who inspires you to live life at 100%. I will tell you how to do that a little bit later. But first, I want to introduce a new colleague. His name is Gerald Motswatupa. He's been a firefighter for the past 10 years, a fire and rescue instructor for the past 5. Gerald.
Hello, and thank you, Ruda. I'm very excited to be talking to you about safety procedures that you should learn in order for you to help in saving lives.
Gerald will bring us safety tips every week.
We're going to cover some very important topics in this series, from how to survive in the wild to how to survive floods. And all these tips are made easy for you to remember and to practice. Please take the time to remember where your nearest police station, hospital, and the fire station is. And please keep these following numbers handy. Stick them on your fridge, put them on your phone. Make sure that you got easy access to them. For the police, dial 112 from a cell phone or 10 from a landline. And for the fire and ambulance, you can dial 112 from your cell phone or 10177 from a landline. And remember, these numbers are free, so don't hesitate to give us a call. We're here for your safety and your protection.
Thanks, Gerald. Who knows when that one little bit of crucial knowledge will make all the difference. I've been involved with this project for 4 years now, and one of the most inspiring elements of that experience has been the young people that we've met. It sure gives me hope for the future to know that passionate new recruits are entering our emergency services. You may remember some of them.
I like what I'm doing. I feel very proud of myself. I've always wanted to be a fireman. Whenever we see fire, I see challenge. Your heart starts pounding, and you know that here is something you gotta do.
25-year-old Shimmy was a trainee firefighter. He was off duty when a fire broke out in a block of flats.
I saw a big smoke coming from the other side.
Shimmy called for backup and headed towards the emergency scene.
I knew in my mind that let me go and help, because they're not just a shift, they're part of my team.
Corner Edward and Smuts was ablaze. Short of manpower, the firefighters were scrambling to get the inferno under control.
People were standing in the windows, balconies, trying to jump down.
They were like, hey, there's an old man there, trapped in the building.
Without waiting for orders, Shimmy made his move.
I didn't think straight that time. I just thought of going there, getting that old man out of that building.
Regional Commander Jacob Mloyen-Gubeni accepted Shimmy's impulse to act on his own.
It was a good but very risky initiative that he took.
Single-handed, thinking only of saving a life, Shimmy entered the blazing flat.
It was dark, and I could see the old man there. He was like already seeing death already there. Shame.
Shimmy got the old man out safely. Then, without a moment's pause, he responded to another call for help. A woman in the neighboring flat was trapped.
Just think of my mom telling me, you can do it, son, you can do it, you can do it.
His singular act was her only chance at survival.
She gave me a huge hug after that.
Actually, he assigned himself to rescuing those people, and you could not stop him.
Another young firefighter we featured was Tully.
I put myself in danger, but my heart tells me that I want to be a lifesaver. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be passionate.
Tully is a diminutive young woman who proved that it's the size of your heart, not your boots, that matters. On the morning of 15 February 2010, Tully asked permission to leave the station early. She had a debilitating headache and needed to get medication. When she approached this well-known intersection in Boksburg, Tully saw something which would make her headache the least of her troubles.
He just swept straight towards me and drove away down the hill.
The driver of the vehicle had lost control and swerved violently over a steep embankment.
I blacked out, and the next conscious thought I felt being tossed to the left and to the right. And I thought, what's happening?
When I got there, I saw the car was already inside the water. It was upside down.
Tully was faced with a frightening dilemma.
Can I make it? How?
She had no backup, and worse, she cannot swim.
Tully was alone. You know, in most cases when I do water rescue, it's not one man alone. You swim alone, you die alone, you know.
The first thing that crossed my mind is this how people drown.
While Joe Uys desperately struggled to free himself, Tully made a split-second decision.
Within a second, I saw that hand goes up inside the water.
With no swimming skills, Tully waded into the water.
He needs help. He's still alive.
What crossed my mind was I said goodbye to my wife that morning, and my sons were still sleeping, so I didn't say goodbye. And the next thing I felt, somebody grabbed my hand from the back of me.
When I got there and put my hand like that, and then he grabbed me.
When I felt the arm, I knew here's the lifeline, and I'm going to grab onto it.
And then the first question he asked when he grabbed me, what happened? Where am I?
How would somebody feel that the one moment thinks it's the end of his life, the next minute a lifeline gets thrown to you?
Tully calmly instructed Joe to release his safety belt and hauled him out of the back window of the sinking vehicle. In that moment, she found a strength beyond her small frame.
I felt somebody that was much bigger than me grabbing me and pulling me out.
For her to be able to do this type of rescue that she did on her own, that tells you that she doesn't sit back.
Her thinking was very quick, to save Mr. A's life.
I believe with all my heart that she was a sent angel.
I couldn't think it's me who made this thing.
Neither size nor age makes the difference. Last year, we met Kerry, who at 15 is the youngest finalist we have ever featured. It was Kerry Glover's first day on the job as a newly qualified lifesaver.
It was a serious day. It was a ticking time bomb.
It was the height of the festive season. The beach was packed with holidaymakers.
Yeah, I was quite nervous because he was giving me like a little crash course on what I was meant to expect on this kind of day, because obviously it was my first proper duty day.
As they watched the crowd from the tower, they noticed a group of swimmers very close to a rip.
They got caught in the wash, washing them to the side, and then out into a rip current. And I ran in. I grabbed the torpedo boy. So I swam out and arrived at the two victims that I thought looked most in distress.
The panicked victims grabbed at Duncan.
He was basically being drowned by these people because he only had one or two torpedo boys, and he couldn't carry all four of them, so they were drowning him as he was trying to save them.
In that moment, Kerry had to make a critical decision. Should she go in or should she call for help?
So she made that critical decision and came in.
Kerry approached the desperate group and persuaded an overwrought woman to let go of her colleague.
I had a torpedo boy and I let her hold onto my torpedo boy, and then I basically swam her in.
She knew what to do, she signaled. It's one hand waving above your arm, she signaled assistance required, blew her whistle until the guys training eventually saw this.
The team quickly swam out and helped Duncan bring the group in safely.
The initiative that she showed, it's not common in 15-year-olds. She most certainly saved more than one life that day, and mine could have definitely been one of those.
If you've saved a person's life, it's so nice to know that you've actually helped. Yeah, I do feel very cool to have done it. The
Centrum Guardian project has been running for 6 years, going from strength to strength. For the first 2 years, it was a smaller campaign in the print media only. Since its inception, the project has featured 41 amazing teams and individuals. 6 of those have been honoured with the title Centrum Guardian of the Year. In 2008, 2 people shared the honours. Firefighter Temba Chumezi saved a family with a 6-month-old baby from a burning shop. And rescue swimmer Andre Fletcher pulled a crew off a yacht in trouble. In 2009, the crown went to firefighter Mlungi Selele Triko, who had to deal with casualties from a 16-seater taxi accident. In 2010, the title went to a team from the Western Cape.
You have to do things, you have to do it very quickly. That victim is the only thing going through your mind.
You just go out there and rescue people. It's our life. We're born with it.
Charles Newt, Dion Alberts and Egnal Brown rescued a family whose car had plunged off a flooded bridge and was swept away.
The vehicle actually skidded on the water and then the water took them.
A mother and child and another man had been spotted clinging to trees.
They were in a reasonably advanced stage of hypothermia.
By that time, they had been clutching at safety for almost 2 hours.
She was shouting that she's going to let us go because she can't hold anymore.
The team decided to make a swim for it.
We decided to do the high-risk rescue, to swim in.
The river was moving quite fast at that stage, the water. So he was just holding on for dear life. Because I remember him shouting, "I cannot hold on anymore, please help us."
As I approach her, I calm her down. I take my safety rope off and put it onto the child, and they just pull the child back to the bank.
While the woman and child were pulled to safety, Charles battled to bring in the man.
When I reached him, my extra weight on that pulled him under the water, which then forced me to grab him immediately and gave them the signal on the shore to actually pull us up. He had no power, he couldn't actually just hold on to me.
After 3 hours, the team had rescued the family from certain drowning.
You give back. There's always somebody that loves someone. And if you can give back a loved one to someone, then you feel that you've done something.
Charles Newt, Dion Alberts, Egnal Brown.
Yeah, I'm a bit overwhelmed at the moment.
It feels good to take it to the Western Cape.
In 2011, the title went to a veteran firefighter.
Ek sit met mense daarbo. So jy moet nou planne maak om vir hulle veilig te kry, want jy moet vanaand met daai mense huis toe gaan.
Dion van Wyk was the Centrum Guardian of the Year. On the 20th of October 2010, a controlled firebreak on a pine plantation just outside George ran amok.
I never saw a fire move that fast.
A strong wind was powering the flames, and firefighters in the mountains were unaware of the advancing danger. Surrounded by towering flames, Dion knew that his crew were in serious trouble.
You couldn't breathe. Every time we inhale, felt like a lung was on fire. I remember thinking that it's actually sometimes easier to die than to live.
In that moment, Dion was out searching for his threatened crew.
Toe ek hom sien, toe weet ek, dis soos nuwe krag wat ek kry. Want as hy okay is, weet ek die ander behoort okay te wees.
Dion immediately created a safe area around the crew with a perfectly planned backburn.
Everywhere around us was burning, and just that piece where we were didn't burn.
He then headed directly into the inferno to save the rest of the crew.
There was just smoke everywhere.
He found them marooned in their vehicle in a circle of fire.
As ons hier, ons safarbyk by ons gehad het, weet ons wat sou gebeur.
Dion made a race for the last cut-off vehicle. He took the wheel and led the trapped firefighters through the blaze.
Jy kan niks sien nie, so jy moet werk op geloof. So geloof is wat jou uitlei.
Dion led every last crew member to safety that day.
When he sees we were right, he would have a little tear in his eyes.
Dis 'n passie en ek dink is 'n groot uitdaging. Ek dink jy's baie geseën as jy 'n lewe kan sê jy het 'n lewe gered.
Well, follow me into hell. It's there's nothing we won't do for you, man.
And last year, the winner was announced at a gala event in Johannesburg. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as voted by the public, the winner of the title Centrum Guardian of the Year 2012 is Torsten. The 15th of January was a beautiful summer's day, great for going to the beach. A group of schoolboys were enjoying every moment when suddenly one of them was in trouble.
It was a stunning day. It was really a very beautiful day, and that's why we went to the beach with all the boys. I was standing on the beach and playing with the other kids that weren't in the water, and I had a constant watch or close watch to the guys that were in the water. And they were honestly really in between the flags, as they call it. All of a sudden, I saw that Ruan was not amongst the original group.
En ek het probeer uitswem en ek voel iets trek my, soos wat die see jou trek.
As I looked, all of a sudden he was swept off his feet and he was swimming. And I mean, and I couldn't understand that, because how can you swim when the water is just above your knees? Not knowing that he was in this current, obviously.
Ruan Klopper found himself helpless in the powerful current.
Probably 30 seconds, 45 seconds later, Ruan was at least 30, 40 meters further away into the sea. And that's when we started panicking.
At 11 minutes past 11, Farneslow phoned the NSRI.
Ek het onmiddellik in sy stem gehoor, hy's baie bekommerd en hy het vir my gesê die see is diep, die see is baie groot en het gesê ons moet baie vinnig maak.
What went through my mind, and again I remember that so clearly, is how many people are in the water, how far out are they?
High time pressure, because when somebody's already got a phone call to say that they're in trouble, you know, time is of the essence.
The second time I phoned Henny, he said to me, they'll be there in 10 minutes. I said to him, Henny, 10 minutes is too long. We don't have 10 minutes.
By this time, Ruan was 300 meters out to sea.
Ek gedink aan hoe ek gaan uitkom. Sal waaraan ek gedink het.
Torsten arrived ahead of the others and took in the scene.
It was obvious that it was a child. He was right in the rip current. It didn't look nice at all.
Torsten planned to use the current to his advantage.
Rip current will take me there much quicker than if I take a straight line.
And then I saw Torsten running about 50 meters towards my left, and I thought, hey, where are you going? I mean, you know, Ruan is there, he's not there.
Torsten battled huge breakers before the current swept him towards Ruan.
Another wave got on top of him, but just as it hit him, I managed to grab hold of him.
Hy het my gepraat, hy het my gevra wat is my naam.
He said his name was Ruan. And the moment you've got a name and a person that's right in front of you, and especially a child, there's no ways you're going to let him go.
Torsten began to swim Ruan back through the breakers when the rescue crew arrived with the boat.
That's when I heard it. It was like music to my ears. It was that unmistakable sound of an outboard at full rev. Picked up Ruan and sped away with him.
Without Torsten's skillful intervention, Ruan would not have made it that day.
I was thinking when I was walking up, there's a room full of people here who do exactly what we did that day. And, you know, I remember when I first read the stories, when they were published, I thought to myself, how can one rank them? You know, they're all amazing stories.
They really are amazing. These people who, as they put it themselves, run in when everyone else runs out. Make a date with us for the next 6 weeks to meet this year's 8 finalists and hear some of the most exciting, true stories you will ever come across from our own backyard. As I said earlier, you must help us decide who will be the Centrum Guardian of the Year 2013. Half of that decision rests with an independent panel. The other half rests with you. This year, you can vote in 4 different ways. By SMS, the number is 34020, on the website, on the Mobi site, or on Facebook. And the great thing is you don't have to choose. You can vote for them all. You have 10 votes per finalist on every platform. That means that you can vote 40 times for each finalist, should you feel that way. That will be 10 votes per SMS, 10 on the Mobi site, 10 on the website, and 10 on Facebook. So set a reminder now to join us again next Sunday at 4:30 on SABC3 for another episode of Centrum Guardians. Have a good week. Goodbye.